What's up guys, let's talk about Verónica. This is a 2017 Spanish horror thriller from director Paco Plaza. It first got noticed at the Toronto International Film Festival and it is about a 15-year-old girl who goes to high school. She lives with 3 younger siblings named Irene, Lucia, as well as Antoñito. Her mother works all day and her father passed away, so she's forced to take care of them a lot of the time. One day at school she sneaks out with several friends to play the Ouija board and attempt to contact her father, which as you would have guessed causes a lot of problems because that is one board game pretty much no one should ever play. Now I know what you're thinking, Ouija board, we've seen this done so many times, especially in the last several years. Let me tell you, the film is not really about that. This part is very subtle. We only get to see it from that point on, and then from the rest of the movie we're really focused on Verónica as well as her siblings and all the things that pretty much go on because of what they did. Now the biggest thing here is I'm wondering how this film all of a sudden got such a huge rise in popularity. Why might this be? Well, I'm not sure myself, but one theory I have is because of that new social media app Vero? I don't know. The movie's called Verónica and sometimes they call her Vero in the film. So perhaps some people were just looking for some new social media and I don't know, they found this film and were like, hey, I'll just click this. I'm sure I'm reaching there, but who knows? What we do know is the film released on Netflix in 2018 last month. From that point, getting a lot of attention. So much so that it's actually been dubbed the scariest horror film ever. Now, that's one way to hype a movie up, but you definitely don't want to be known as that film because there's no way any film can truly live up to that hype. It is certainly not the scariest movie ever, but is definitely really creepy and surprising, and you'll find a lot of things to like here. For the most part, it's really tame, but who knows, it might be a cultural thing in Spain or the fact that this film has a lot of kids in it, and by definition, if you have kids in a horror movie and you see things going on that's happening to them or around them, that is pretty scary. And yes, the situations that these kids are put in, it's kind of scary at times. However, what I really enjoyed about this film was the way the story develops and the overall atmosphere. I also like that it takes place in Madrid. I haven't seen a lot of movies based in Spain myself, and it's also in the year 1991, which is when I was born. And the performances here are actually really strong. The film is definitely held together by its lead, Sandra Escacena. She sells every moment she's on screen, and there's so many different little fascinating scares that go on where she is involved that really worked for me. There's a couple moments of really cool editing techniques that I really enjoyed that were interwoven into the overall structure and cinematography very well, that it seemed pretty seamless, and I really liked how they kind of blended it like that. However, there are a few flaws in the sound editing a little bit early on. I wasn't a fan of the moments where they drain out the music or it gets really quiet. You know it's gonna just jump out with you with some kind of loud effect. I've seen that too many times before, you can't fool me. Luckily this isn't very prominent, it's only really early on, and from that point on there isn't a whole lot of that. I like that the structure of the film kind of relies on sort of a found footage narrative in terms of there's all these things that went on and you get timestamps and moments here and there where they let you know what day it is and things like that. However, it's filmed in the traditional way, which I really enjoy that sort of combination. Overall, this is a very fun, surprising, and entertaining horror film that I think a lot of you will really enjoy. Don't go into it too high of expectations, you don't want to be disappointed, but just get ready to experience something that you might not have seen before. Verónica scares up familiar ideas with delightfully unique story structure and character focus, despite not being as terrifying as the hype has made it out to be. And that's why this film is a diligent pick. So guys, what did you think of Verónica? Was it as scary as some people have made it out to be for you? Or if you're like me, pretty big horror buff, was it something that was just a little tame, but for the most part you found very interesting? I want to know your thoughts below, as well as any other horror movies out there that you've gotten to see that you think should have more attention like this one. My name is Dylan, and if you love entertainment, subscribe to my channel while this video ends and send me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching and stay diligent.